Michigan Out of Doors Online is brought to you in part by...
For over 30 years, Vanguard Outdoors has made the gear that turns a regular hunt into another fine day of field. We know that a good shooting stick or a nice pair of binoculars can make or break your day. Our design teams include serious hunters who work hard to bring you the best sporting optics, shooting sticks, tripods, bags, and more. We are Vanguard Outdoors.
Hello everyone, welcome to Michigan Out of Doors. I'm Jenny Silik and we have a great show put together for you this week, and it all takes place out on the water. I'll take you out with a family team that took part in a walleye fishing tournament on Lake St. Clair. You won't want to miss that. We had a great day on the water. And speaking of the water, Jimmy and Jordan have a couple of more stories headed your way.
Well, that's right, Jenny. We do have a couple more things on this week's show. I was recently able to get out with a group of elementary kids over here in West Michigan in Grand Haven. There was a few groups that were taking them out on the pier to do a little pier fishing. You won't want to miss that. It was a lot of fun. And Jordan is going to show us what goes into fishing in a backyard pond and all the things that go along with that, if that's something you want to do on your own property. Lots of good stuff on this week's show. You stay tuned. I'm Jimmy Gratzinger, and it's time for Michigan Out of Doors.
From the first spring rains to the soft summer breeze, dancing on the pine forest floor, the autumn colors catch your eyes. Here come the crystal winter skies. It's Michigan, Michigan out of doors.
What a beautiful day in the woods.
Someday our children all will see this is their finest legacy, the wonder and the love of Michigan. As the wind comes whispering through the trees, the sweet smell of nature's in the air. From the Great Lakes to the quiet stream, shining like a sportsman's dream. It's a love of Michigan we all share.
Michigan Out of Doors is presented by
Country Smokehouse, a sportsman's destination since 1988. Featuring varieties of homemade sausage, jerky, brats, and gourmet entrees. Holiday gift boxes can be assembled in-store or online. Details at countrysmokehouse.com.
The Michigan Charter Boat Association has provided education of the Great Lakes fishery for over 52 years. Information about Great Lakes fishing opportunities as well as captain advocacy can be found at michigancharterboats.com.
By Green Mark Equipment. Green Mark Equipment is a John Deere dealership network in southwest Michigan and northern Indiana. Green Mark provides sales and services to farmers, commercial businesses, large property owners, and homeowners. Information about pricing and products available can be found online at greenmarkequipment.com.
Well, we're going to do the Lake St. Clair Classic 2024. We're paying the top 6 positions, and we also have a couple fun categories. We get our boats inspected, and once we leave inspection, they go out, and we're inspecting, one, for the proper safety gear, two, to make sure somebody doesn't have a fish in their boat. That's never been a problem with any tournament that we've been a part of. We've never had any instance where we thought anybody was cheating, but we want to make sure everybody's safe, make sure they have those PFDs, make sure you wear them, and that's one of our big rules. If the boat's in motion past trolling speed, we want it on, and I actually told them, even at trolling speed, I'd really like you to keep them on. There's been recent accidents, and I was actually involved in an accident myself. We were trolling, and we had a wave come over the back end, a couple. Next thing you know, we found ourselves in the water. It happens that fast, folks. So always wear that PFD.
It's a great idea to wear a life jacket on the water. I'd be riding along on Rich's boat today for the tournament. Joining Rich were his dad Dick and his wife Nicole to round out the team. Nicole was fired up and ready to go.
Do you have high hopes for today?
I do. I'm hoping that they come out and they're biting and we catch what we need, and then also a couple big ones.
Awesome.
So we got our boats inspected, safety gear and everything else. We're going to be blasting off as soon as everybody's in the water. We're going to get out there fishing, hoping to maybe get these guys an extra 15 minutes. Okay? So it's going to be a great day. We need to be back at 2 p.m. for the weigh-in.
Rich's team was boat number 3 to take off from the start line. As they motored out, he was still deciding on his game plan.
We haven't decided yet. We're thinking of stopping at the channel, trying to pick off 1 or 2 small fish, and then head down to some numbers where we've been doing good. I'm torn though. So we did a pre-fishing yesterday and we did terrible. Last week we went out on a Friday night just fishing for fun, and we caught 35 fish in less than 3 hours. 2 p.m. is the cutoff. We have 8 hours of fishing time, and then the weigh-in is immediately following. Okay. And it's our 6th best fish from Lake St. Clair.
Okay. Is that the boundary? Do people have to stay in the lake?
No, we extended it north, all the channels off of Lake St. Clair, up to Russell Island, and then all the way down to the Ambassador Bridge and the Detroit River, because we do have guys that come out and want to jig.
This Benson family team snapped into action and started setting lines like a well-oiled machine.
My wife and I, we fish together all the time. I met her about 8 years ago, and we've been fishing together just about ever since. A couple years ago, we won a big tournament. We placed in another tournament, this tournament last year, and we like fishing with the club. It's a good time. We come out here, we laugh, and I mean, it's, you know, the frustrations of fishing. Some days it's fishing with no catching, other days it's just catching. And today I want to say it was catching. So.
And she knows how to do all her own stuff over there.
Yes, she does. She's come a long way, baby, right? But yeah, she sets her own lines, picks her own lures out, nets fish, and she's even starting to handle them without screaming too much. But nah, she's great. She really knows what she's doing out here, and I can't think of a better first mate to have out here. And my father, he was the one that got me started fishing 50 years ago. Harson's Island, Muscatwood Bay, ice fishing, and then right in L'Anse Creuse Bay with trolling for walleye right off the spillway. And it's been a passion ever since.
All right.
Nice bass for the day.
Well, so far we have a small walleye and we have a perch. Walleye's legal, perch is legal, and we've got another one on the line hoping for another walleye, and we just threw back a decent bass.
The lake holds a diverse collection of fish species, including some of the best walleyes around.
The fishery on Lake St. Clair for walleyes is excellent. We're kind of in between 2 fisheries, that being the Saginaw Bay fishery and the Detroit River Lake Erie fishery, and the fish interchange. So we always have fish moving in and out of the system, which, as people on all those different systems know, can be fantastic at times, and it has been for quite a few years now.
Yeah! Whoa! Okay, that's better.
Nice job.
Yes.
That's on your side of the boat too.
That's my side. I always go this side, the right side, right-handed reels. I like this side.
So this is on her one of her favorite lures.
All right.
Getting bigger, they're getting better.
Beautiful.
Take them.
Yeah.
Right, tell your friends. Don't bite me.
We fished today off the south shore of, well, it'd actually be the north shore, or the south shore of Lake St. Clair, be the Canadian North Shore. We fish off of the rivers that flow into it. The Bell, the Ruscom, the Thames, also Pikes Creek, the Poose River. These are all outlets. They all attract bait fish, and the bait fish attract the perch, which we also caught some really nice perch today. And the Lake St. Clair fishery is so diverse between, we caught I think 5 species of fish today, or four species of fish, just one after another, and it's a lot of fun out here. On Lake St. Clair, you really don't know what you're going to catch sometimes, and it's not just a walleye fishery. It's a world-class smallmouth bass, muskie. The perch fishing can be phenomenal given the years. Last year was a phenomenal year. This year, walleye has been fantastic for us, and everybody should if you're going to go one destination in the United States, come to Lake St. Clair once. You'll love it.
The team had gotten into some great walleye action out here and almost lost this next one to another fish.
So this guy, on the way in, somebody obviously went after him and took a chunk out of him. Probably musky maybe,
Yeah.
but nice fish.
Nice fish for the box, eh?
Yep.
As you can tell, Rich is passionate about walleye fishing and the Lake St. Clair Walleye Association, so much so that he volunteers his time as the president of the organization, which does some great work.
The Lake St. Clair Walleye Association, in addition to fishing and promoting fishing, we teach our members. We have different seminars covering different techniques, but we're really kid oriented. We send a few kids to the MUCC youth camp every year. We partner with the metro parks, and this year we're going to be doing a fishing outing with 300 kids. Every kid's going to get a rod, reel, tackle box, lunch, activities. Right there at Lake St. Clair Metro Park, we do veterans events, and then we also do quite a few charitable donations throughout the year. And we have a scholarship program for our members. It's $1,000 scholarship. And first-year college students are open to apply to that are members of the club. And they just write a little essay, and we've been doing that. This is our 9th year doing that.
Woo! A double!
Nice. All right.
Let's get him in there. Woo!
Feeling good about this?
Gold digger! Wild thing, you are retired. It's gold digger night.
All righty. We've just pulled the rods, and we're going to see how we do at the weigh-in. We had a good luck charm up on the dash, or up on the bow today, and it's going to be a bumpy 18-mile ride back into Harley Anson Memorial Boat Launch.
Weigh-in just started. 3 or 4 teams have now weighed in. The winning weight right now is 17 pounds and change, so we still got 20-some teams to weigh in, so just getting started.
Anybody's game, right?
Anybody's game. Big Fish is just shy of 5 pounds right now, so still open.
All right.
One of the sponsors of this tournament is the Dick Huvar Auto Dealership, who's quite involved in local community activities.
We are, and that's why we pair so well with the Walleye Club, because they as well like to do a lot of community projects. We help them with their fishing tournament. They help us with our buck pole tournament, which both events raise money for the Path Foundation. So again, that all ties into both of our businesses, and also Christmas time. Both of us are really into helping out the needy families. So these events help us do that and raise money for it.
Tournaments like the Lake St. Clair Classic are fun for the anglers and also a help to neighboring communities by raising money through raffles, entry fees, and donations. As the last of the teams weighed their fish in, Rich ran through the prize levels to be awarded here today.
The prizes today, first place is $5,000, and then the prizes in order are $2,000, $1,000, $750, $500, and $250. And then we have the largest purchase, a free entry into our Lake St. Clair Perch and Pig, which is October 5th this year. And then we have the smallest legal walleye. It's a lot of fun, and yeah, it is a serious tournament, but we also want to have a little bit of fun.
Everyone involved today had a great time with this friendly yet fierce competition while supporting the community and enjoying all that Lake St. Clair has to offer. Special thanks to Rich, Nicole, and Dick Benson for a great day on the water here in Michigan's Out of Doors.
Well, we are pretty lucky as Michiganders to have so many good groups doing so much good work around the state of Michigan, getting new people into the out of doors. Just a few weeks back, that was happening here in West Michigan in the town of Grand Haven, where they were taking out a bunch of elementary kids onto the pier, and I figured I'd tag along to see what it was all about.
All right, so good morning, everyone. It'll be good evening when the show airs, but it's May 16, 2024. I'm Ron Charporn, president, founder of Grand Haven Bassmasters. This is it's a beautiful day in Michigan. This is the kickoff of GHAP's Grand Haven Area Public Schools Fishing. It is a previous Pursuing a Dream, Get Hooked program that started in 2007 and kind of ran its course, ran out of funding in about 2022. And so that kind of didn't set well with me, so about a year ago, I said, hey, what do we got to do to get this going? So myself and a few others kind of got together and did some investigation and just kind of got the permissions, the permits, and found out what kind of information it takes to get this going again. Here we are today, and we're gonna run about almost 300 kids, special needs, from the Grand Haven area schools, and we're gonna take them fishing here on the Grand Haven Boardwalk. And so I think there's 160 kids today that'll be bussed in here in about an hour, and we're gonna take them fishing right here on the Grand Haven Boardwalk, and they're gonna catch some fish, and mainly probably gobies, a few sheephead, some catfish, maybe every now and then a smallmouth or two. And tomorrow there'll be another group.
Through the tough part of the worm, go through once, you wrap it, and go through a second time, and you want it dangling down like that. All right? Now, you know how to cast, but we're not going to cast. We're going to fish straight down.
I kind of know how to cast.
You do?
All right.
Okay.
Kind of.
Okay, do it this way. Hold it this way. Push the button.
Having great volunteers at an event like this is so crucial, and today we had some really good folks helping out. Most of these kids have not done much fishing, so any fish, well, it was a big deal.
Yeah, look at there. Yay. Yay, look at the size of that goby. Here. Turn right around here and show them to the camera. Look how pretty. Yeah.
With over 150 kids, many with a parent, along with 50 or so volunteers, the pier was packed. And with that many worms in the water, kids were seeing fish get caught. It was really good to see this event back up and running again.
So this had been going on, GHABS had partnered with Pursuing a Dream years ago. And then we didn't have the event last year, as I believe that organization may be disseminated in the area. So we're bringing it back this year, but we made it a GHABS event. So it's something we're hoping to have year after year after year. A lot of community partnerships, a lot of great people here today that are excited to help a lot of people that have been here many years in the past.
It's hard to say if these kids will grow up and want to fish, but I'm guessing some will. It's about that, but also just exposing kids to the outdoors in a safe and fun environment. You don't need a lot of special gear, and once in a while, well, you may just stumble into a big fish.
Real. Big sheets. Yep. Hey, can you reel up? Sorry. Just running towards you.
Holy moly.
Come on, buddy. That's a big one.
Oh my God.
Look at that. That's a nice one right there.
Oh wow.
Holy smokes.
There you go.
There were a handful of big sheephead caught today. Lots of gobies and some catfish as well. And it was great to have the kids catch a few fish. But at the end of the day, it was nice to see schools working with some outdoor groups and showing off the great resources we have here in our state.
Hey, big goby! It's a big goby! It's a strong goby!
All right, we got him, dude.
It's a strong goby!
It's a strong goby?
Yeah. That was a strong goby.
That was a strong one?
Yeah. I couldn't even wheel it up very quickly.
Yeah.
Let me take him off. You can hold him.
Gobies get way bigger.
Everybody, use both hands. Use the other hand.
There he is. Nice job, young man.
Did it take a picture?
Yep.
Okay, go ahead and throw him back.
Bye, gobies!
Well, we're picking up a few goby this morning. It's some sheephead. Saw a couple bluegill caught, and that's been about it. But it's a lot of activity. It's a lot of fun. Kids are enjoying.
Kids were enjoying the day. The teachers and volunteers were as well. And thanks to all that were involved today, there were lots of smiles and some big stories to tell right here in Michigan's Out of Doors.
For our next segment on this week's show, we're going to do a little pan fishing and also learn about what goes into digging a pond and how to make it a quality fishery.
So today we're at my pond. This is the first pond that I ever built. We built this pond about 24 years ago. kind of how our whole company got started, actually. My wife and I bought this property and we wanted a pond on it. Didn't have one. Worked out a deal with the seller to get an excavator in here for about a day or a weekend, and we dug a little bit, and that's when I learned how to run an excavator, and then it had to leave. So I ended up buying an excavator a little while later. I told my wife it might be the cheapest way to get this thing dug if we buy one, dig the hole and then sell it. So we ended up using the credit card to go buy our first excavator. It was just a small little machine. But that's really how it all started. I bought that thing, we dug this pond out, and before I even got done digging, I had about 3 people that worked at the state with me that said, before you sell that machine, I want you to bring it over to my place. And so we did that, and it just kept going on, and finally it was like, I think we might have a business here. So I had to part ways with the state, sadly. I really liked working there, but this has been a good thing for us, and here we are today, about 24 years later, and we've got a whole fleet of machines and about a dozen guys that work for us, and it's been going well. Oh, got another one right there. That's a little nicer one. These are fun to catch on a fly rod. Feels like you got a trout on almost.
Digging a pond is one thing, creating a good fishery another. Structure is essential when it comes to maintaining a quality fishery, and that structure can come in several different forms.
While I was at college, one of our professors told us that in most lakes and ponds, about 90% of the fish use about 10% of the pond's habitat. And that's because the fish always key in on structure, whether it's the weed bed around the shoreline, or a drop-off somewhere, or a rock pile, log jam piles, or cribs, anything. Fish find those spots because there's a lot of things there they like. There's invertebrates and things that are hanging out around there, small minnows that are eating on some of that stuff, and so there's a lot of food for them, but they also just like to associate with structures. So you can really beef up the production of your pond in terms of its capacity to hold fish by adding structure to it. And that's something that we really strive to do with the ponds that we build, whether it's, how we slope the banks or bringing in stumps. A lot of times from projects where we're clearing the land to dig the pond, we'll single out stumps and some cool parts of trees that have lots of crags in them or big limbs. And we'll use those to go down into the bottom of the pond too, in strategic locations for different types of fish, depending on what the owner wants. There we go. There's one of the pigs. I just put a lot of science behind it to help develop the fishery, but also to promote better water quality. I mean, there's a lot that goes into the design that helps minimize maintenance later on, adds longevity to the pond, and just promotes a lot better water quality.
Although you could technically dig a pond with a shovel if you were ambitious enough, nowadays there's lots of equipment available to make the job easier, including some equipment that is essential for digging deeper ponds, which is important when it comes to creating fish habitat.
So early on in my career, I realized right away that if I wanted to dig these ponds the way I felt they needed to be dug, I had to move a lot of dirt out of there to create big, deep holes and drop-offs and shallower areas. And it got to be really difficult to do that with just an excavator because I'd have to handle that dirt so many times to build a big space down there to support the fisheries that I was after, which made it take a long time. So I ended up buying some off-road trucks. I bought one early on, and now we have 4 of them. But those off-road trucks really allow us to move a lot of dirt, not just out of the hole, but get it away from the hole and take it somewhere else on the owner's property so that it can be used maybe to build privacy berms somewhere, fill in an area, anything but making a big ugly pile next to the pond. And that way, when we're done, they have this beautiful natural setting that can easily be blended in to look really good because they're not dealing with mountains of dirt. So that's been one of the things that's really helped us kind of sets us apart from some of the other guys, allows us to dig ponds that have bigger areas. I mean, we've done a lot of ponds that range in size from something like this on up to 10 acres. And when you start getting that big, you've got to be able to haul that dirt.
Whether you're looking for a small pond in the backyard or a small lake, there are lots of factors to consider before you break ground. Special thanks to Mike for teaching us all a little bit about what goes into digging a pond and creating a quality fishery.
Thank you so much for stopping by Michigan Out of Doors TV this week. Make sure you join us in upcoming weeks. We've got all sorts of summertime fun headed your way. We'll meet a group of ladies who's passionate about fishing. We'll also check out another sporting dog trial and all sorts of other things happening this summer here in Michigan. If you'd like to see where we are and where we're headed next down the road, you can always check us out online.
Well, that's right, Jenny. Online is a good way to keep track of us. You can do that through our website, our different social media platforms, as well as YouTube. You can actually subscribe to our channel there and get an email every time we post something new. And there should be a lot of new stuff coming over the next several weeks. Lots going on around the state of Michigan. Get out and enjoy it. And if we don't see you in the woods or on the water, hopefully we'll see you right back here next week on your PBS station.
Michigan Out of Doors is presented by.
Do you dream of somewhere bigger than your backyard? You can get there with Greenstone. Whether you want to hunt, fish, hike, or just watch the sunset, we're ready to help you own your place in the great outdoors. To learn more, visit greenstonefcs.com.
By Alta Equipment Company, providing sales, rentals, service, and parts because uptime matters. From earth moving to landscaping and light construction, Alta offers over 50 brands across 7 Michigan locations to serve you. More information online or 844-GO-2-ALTA.
Closed captioning brought to you by Double E Ranch Foundation, a nonprofit 501c3 foundation working to make hunting and fishing accessible for those with disabilities.
When I wander far away, a dream stays with me night and day. It's the road that leads to my home state. I am a Michigan man. Changing seasons paint the sea.